Hi, Tim here from TNT, just inviting you to support independent media as we try and keep you on top of some of the main stories happening around Thailand. You can subscribe just somewhere down there. Hi, welcome to this update as we have a quick look at what's happening with the Myanmar earthquake, particularly focusing on the involvement of a Chinese construction company with this building that fell down in Bangkok. A lot of focus on that in Thai media, so we'll get to that, but I think we should start with what's happening in Myanmar. In reporting from Reuters, UN urges aid to Myanmar quake survivors before monsoons hit. Death toll climbs towards 3,000. So heading towards 3,000, it hasn't quite reached that, but this number will continue to increase. So vision there from Reuters of, I suppose you could say one lucky survivor who's been pulled out from the rubble in the capital Naypyidaw, that vision from Reuters. And the story, UN officials who surveyed earthquake damage in Myanmar urged the global community on Tuesday to ramp up aid before the looming monsoon season. It worsens already catastrophic conditions, with the death toll at 2,719 expected to surpass 3,000. Drinking water, hygiene, food, shelter and medicines are the most crucial needs following extensive damage to buildings, roads and bridges. And the article notes that a civil war in Myanmar has displaced more than 3 million people long before the quake struck, and the UN Special Envoy for Myanmar, Julie Bishop, urged all sides to immediately cease fire, permit humanitarian access and ensure aid workers are safe. And almost unbelievably, the Burmese junta still bombing rebel factions in the country in the days after the earthquake. And this update from the military junta leader, some 4,521 people were injured, 441 missing, and he says amongst the missing, most are assumed to be dead. And these two perspectives in the middle there, in the Mandalay area, 50 children and 2 teachers were killed when their preschool collapsed, according to the UN. In a rare survival story, a 63-year-old woman who was trapped for 91 hours was pulled from the rubble of a building in Naypyidaw on Tuesday in a joint rescue effort by the Myanmar Fire Department and teams from India, China and Russia. And the article also notes that the Three Brotherhood alliance of the 3 major rebel groups at war with the junta yesterday declared a unilateral 1-month ceasefire to allow urgent humanitarian efforts to be carried out as swiftly and effectively as possible. And just on that matter I mentioned before, in the middle there, one rebel group, the KNU, on Sunday said the junta had conducted airstrikes in the east of the country at a time when it should be prioritising quake relief efforts. And Amnesty International said it had received testimony corroborating reports of airstrikes near areas where quake recovery efforts were focused. And quoting an Amnesty representative in Myanmar, he said, "You cannot ask for aid with one hand and bomb with the other." So catastrophe on top of catastrophe for the people in Myanmar, with that death toll heading towards 3,000. But we move to Bangkok and the focus of a lot of Thai media on this collapsed building that happened up near the Chatuchak market on Friday. And Thai PBS, the government's own English language media outlet, going hard on this particular story. This headline, PM says collapse of State Audit Office building has damaged Thailand's image. 5 bodies found in collapsed Chatuchak building, but retrieval remains risky. PM wants swift probe into building collapse. Quality checks ordered on Thai-Chinese high-speed train project, and tests show poor quality steel used in collapsed State Audit Office building. But we'll start with the Bangkok Post report, Chinese firm probed. Amazing to consider that there are still tens of people stuck under that pile of rubble. And the article reads, the government stepping up its probe into other construction projects linked to the Chinese contractor of the SAO under construction building that collapsed in Bangkok on Friday. And speaking after a cabinet meeting yesterday, the PM said she instructed various agencies to investigate all construction projects awarded to China Railway No. 10 Engineering Group. And the State Audit Office contracted a consortium of Italian Thai Development plc and China Railway No. 10 to construct the 2.1 billion baht building. The Prime Minister's quoted as saying the collapsed buildings had cost lives and negatively affected Thailand's image. And anybody watching TNT over the years knows that anything that negatively affects Thailand's image is indeed taken very seriously. And she added that the Justice Minister has ordered the DSI to investigate, and she said all buildings in Bangkok must meet legal standards, safety must be the top priority. And she said a probe would be launched into allegations that steel bars used in the construction of the building were substandard. And the story notes that Bloomberg reported that the contractors of the under-construction office tower which collapsed in Bangkok used substandard steel bars made by a factory that's been shuttered by authorities. And images of the steel bars shared by the ministry and local media displayed the brand Sky, made by Shinki Steel, which had a factory in Rayong province. Authorities closed the factory in December due to an accident involving a gas tank leak and seized more than 2,400 tonnes of steel. And the story notes that the 30-storey building was the only building to crumble in the Thai capital in the wake of the 7.7 magnitude earthquake. As we head to this story from nationthailand.com, headline, some steel samples failed to meet standard in State Audit Office building. And just a few key paragraphs from this story from the Industry Minister spokesperson said she expects the steel from this factory, registered by Chinese nationals, would have been procured for the construction prior to the inspection, as the SAO office building was built around 5 years ago. Well, built, but clearly not finished. There's another story there. And she mentioned that 7 factories established by both Thai and foreign entities, mostly those from China, have been inspected so far. Even if some companies are closed, she warned shareholders and importers can still be prosecuted. And one of the Thai PBS World stories on the same matter, tests show poor quality steel used in collapsed SAO building. And that story heading down the same track, and it notes that 20 samples of the deformed rebar of 12 to 32 millimetres and 2 24mm bars were tested in 3 steps, and it goes through the details on those steps. And the Nation taking another tack in the story, the Transport Minister orders the State Rail of Thailand to inspect high-speed rail project after earthquake. And it notes that he specifically directed the State Rail of Thailand to focus on inspecting the first phase of the Thai-Chinese high-speed railway project from Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima, with particular attention to the standards of construction materials and equipment. And it notes that the Thai-Chinese joint venture has raised safety concerns, as it was also responsible for the construction of the State Audit Office building in Bangkok's Chatuchak district, the one that collapsed last Friday. The Transport Minister added that the SRT is inspecting both the materials and construction processes to ensure safety, transparency and good governance. He expects the inspection to be completed within 2 days. And the highly reputable CowsodEnglish.com, their headline, probe focuses Thai-Chinese venture in Bangkok's fatal building collapse. Dramatic photo there of those workers just dwarfed by the collapsed building. And the story notes in the second paragraph there, the question on everyone's mind, including PM Petongtan Shinawat, is how a 33-storey, 137-metre tall building could be the only structure in Bangkok to collapse. And photo there of a meeting between the Chinese ambassador to Thailand and a Deputy PM Anaton Sharvitakun. Interesting that he's not wearing a suit. This happened on March the 30th. And the Chinese ambassador pledged to cooperate in the investigation of the collapsed Office of the Auditor. And just in the middle there, the Office of the Attorney General also denied social media rumours about structural design modifications to reduce size, confirming that the columns followed specifications. And the Industry Minister, after inspecting steel samples collected from the construction site, refrained from making accusations but commented, "Just seeing it left me stunned." And then further down there, questions arose about why a company specialising in railway construction received a contract for a special high-rise building, which was advertised as CREC's first special high-rise construction project abroad. The company had promoted this project as reflecting China's engineering competitive capabilities as it makes serious inroads into the Southeast Asian market. Well, obviously that reputation now severely dented. There has been a lot of social media scuttlebutt about this issue. Here we'll try and just keep to the facts as reported by reliable media in the area, and we will do our best to keep on top of the story as it develops.